O faithful priest, Fray Pio María, raise your voice, so that all may come to know the truths of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, truthfully.
O faithful priest, Fray Pio María, raise your voice.
O faithful priest, Fray Pio María, raise your voice, so that all may come to know the truths of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, truthfully.
In those days, Mary set out and went with haste, and quickly to the hill country, to a town of Judah. She entered the house of Zechariah and greeted Elizabeth. As soon as Elizabeth heard Mary's greeting, the child leaped in her womb. Elizabeth was filled with the Holy Spirit and exclaimed in a loud voice, "Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. And why is this granted to me, that the mother of my Lord should come to me? For behold, as soon as the sound of your greeting reached my ears, the child leaped for joy in my womb. And blessed is she who believed that what was spoken to her by the Lord would be fulfilled." Then Mary said, "My soul magnifies the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, for he has looked upon the humility of his servant. From now on, all generations will call me blessed. Great things he has done for me. The Almighty, holy is his name. His mercy is from generation to generation for those who fear him. He has shown the strength of his arm. He has scattered the proud in the thoughts of their hearts. He has brought down the mighty from their thrones and lifted up the humble. He has filled the hungry with good things and sent the rich away empty-handed. He has helped Israel his servant, remembering his mercy, as he had spoken to our fathers, to Abraham and his descendants forever." Mary stayed with her for about 3 months, then returned to her home. The word of the Lord. The word of the gospel wipes away our sins. Praise be Jesus and Mary. The prophet Isaiah says in chapter 40, verse 26, "Lift up your eyes on high and see." Who created those stars? And the Song of Songs says instead in chapter 6, verse 10, "Who is she that rises like the dawn, beautiful as the moon, radiant as the sun?" Today the church contemplates in Mary assumed into heaven the fulfillment of God's promises. Our God is faithful. He will remain faithful to the end. He does not deceive, and he never breaks God's promises. That the woman clothed with the sun, Revelation 12:1, the New Jerusalem, already radiant in glory, the living source of hope for all pilgrims walking in faith, in her, all beautiful and all of God, we already see fulfilled the goal that awaits us, the eternal embrace with the Father in the kingdom of the divine. This, as I told you last night, I repeat to you tonight. We cannot settle for anything more or less than being what we were created to be. God became man so that man might become God again. This morning, the Pope, our Pope Leo, at the Angelus, during his address, quoting the great and renowned Italian poet Dante, said, "Dante, it is especially the last canto of Paradise in the prayer placed on the lips of Saint Bernard. Dante says, Mary is a living source, as the Pope said this morning, overflowing with hope. Brothers and sisters, he said, this significant truth of our faith is deeply and truly in perfect tune with the central theme of the Jubilee that we are all experiencing together, pilgrims of hope. The pilgrim, as we know, needs a clear destination to guide his journey. Otherwise, he wanders aimlessly, it's true. He needs a destination to orient his journey. A beautiful, attractive destination that guides his steps and encourages him when he is weary. In fact, what are the names of these books that I will also mention to you tonight? The call of the creature to order, to its place, to the purpose for which it was created, the destination. The more enticing the destination, the more delightful it is. Even the trials, sometimes terrible, that life has in store for us cannot crush you, because there is the destination. That destination is always before your eyes. So the Pope says he needs a destination. As he concludes his journey, a beautiful, attractive destination that guides his steps and lifts his spirits when he is weary, that always rekindles in his heart desire and hope. Listen to what this destination is. On November 24th, in the year 1923, Jesus says to Luisa, so he tells her, the origin of my will is eternal, and pain never entered into it at any point. This is our destination. It is dear to us, and it remains unchanged forever. Pain never entered into it. We were created this way, and this is how we must be restored. This is the solemnity of today. It never entered into it. Among the divine persons, the most holy Trinity, this will was, in short, harmony. In fact, it was one and the same. In every act that the most holy Trinity brought forth, both ad intra, that is within itself, and ad extra, outside, it gave us infinite joys, new delights, immense happiness. And when we wanted to go forth from the machine of creation, how much glory, how much harmony, what honor we received. As the Fiat was unleashed, how that Fiat spread our beauty, our radiant and resplendent light, our immense and boundless power, the order, the harmony, the love, the holiness that we possess, and we were glorified. By our very own virtues, seeing through our Fiat the blossoming and flourishing of our divinity, overshadowed throughout the whole universe, our will. It did not stop, swollen with love as it was. What did it do? It wanted to create man. And you know its story. Whoever reads the writings knows it very well. And so let's move on. As for me, I say let's move on too. Otherwise, you'd have to spend the whole night here for me to tell you the story of man as found in the writings. It was man himself who brought the first sorrow to my will. He tried to embitter the one who loved him so much, who had made him happy. My will wept more than a tender mother weeps for her crippled and blind child, simply because he has withdrawn from his mother's will. My will wanted to be the first agent of man. This is the goal we must strive for. The divine will must be the first agent within us, and this is the goal, dear ones. This is the goal. This is the goal that Our Lady pointed out to us with the Assumption. My will wanted to be the first agent of man for no other reason than to give him new surprises. Surprises of love, of joy, of happiness, of light, of richness. He always wanted to give generously, you see, that's why he actually wanted to act, but man wants to do his own will. Thank you. And he broke with the divine will. If only he had never done it. My will withdrew and he fell into the abyss of all evils. Now to unite these two wills again, the human and the divine, it was truly necessary to have someone who actually contained a divine will within himself. How could it be done anymore? He lost the divine life, and to give it back to him, it required someone who possessed this divine life. And so I, the eternal Word, loving with an eternal love, we among the divine persons decreed that I would take on human flesh to come and save him and to retie the two broken wills. But where to descend? How to do it? Who was to be the one who would offer her very own flesh to her Creator? Dear ones, how can one possibly think that this most blessed and favored creature was not assumed directly into heaven without ever truly knowing death? Come on, please. Did you hear that she had to offer her flesh to the Creator? So we choose a creature, and by virtue of the foreseen merits of the future Redeemer, she was exempted from original sin. Her will and ours became one. It was this heavenly creature who understood the story of our will. We, as we began everything, told her about it. The pain of our will is like man in the state of grace, by breaking his own will with ours, had confined our will within the circle of God, as if hindering it in its designs, preventing it from communicating its goods to him, the very purpose for which he was created. For us, giving means making ourselves happy, making happy those who receive from us, and it is to fill, to enrich without ever becoming poor, and to give what we are by nature, and to form it in the creature by grace. Did you hear that? That is why I told you we cannot be content with being anything less than God. What he is by nature, he gives to us by grace. This is the Madonna. Everything that God is by nature, the Madonna is by grace. By grace. And to go out from ourselves in order to give what we possess. By giving, our love is expressed, our will rejoices. If we were not meant to give, what would be the purpose of creating creation? So, not being able to give to our children, to our beloved images, was like a mourning for our supreme will. Only in seeing man act, speak, walk without the connection to our will, because it was broken by him, and that we had to run to him if he was with us, running with grace, with light, with holiness, and with knowledge. And since our will could not, it took on the form of sorrow. I always give you an image. I give it to you again so you can clearly understand what Jesus is saying here. When God created us, I've told you many times, but it's better that I'll repeat it. When God created us, he made a hole here on the side, and he too made a hole, and he graciously provided us the USB cable, and he said, if you want to stay connected with me 24 hours a day, you can do it. And what I am by nature, you become by participation. The Madonna always did this at every moment in every act, throughout her whole life, up until her assumption into heaven. What happened on this day, dear ones? What happened on this day? Let's say it in a practical, concrete way. What happened? When the Archangel Gabriel at the Annunciation said to the Madonna, "Hail full of grace," it means that the Madonna was already full of grace. Imagine a bucket, a rubber bucket, filled to the brim with water. Can you add more water to it? No. But if you bring a blowtorch, which is a source of intense heat, close to it and heat it up, the bucket will expand a little more than before, and you can actually add a bit more water to it. If you do it again, you can add a little more water. If you do it a third time, the bucket can't take it anymore. It breaks and comes back together for eternity. This is exactly what happened to the Madonna. This is the day when the Madonna, she reached the maximum that a created being is absolutely able to contain of God's love and will. God's will is his love. When she reached the very peak of all this, the vessel broke and then immediately reformed for all eternity. It's wonderful. And this is the destiny of the children of God, dear ones. This is our destiny. So he says, by giving our love, our will is released. It celebrates. If we weren't meant to give, what would be the point of creating? Only in being able to give to our children, our imagined ones. Otherwise, it's like mourning our will. Only in seeing man act, speak, walk without being connected with our will, because he broke it and we had to run to him if he was with us. Currents of grace, of light, of holiness, of knowledge, etc. Not being able to do so, our will took on sorrow in every act of the creature. It was a sorrow because we saw that act empty of divine value, lacking in beauty and holiness. Thank you. Completely unlike our own acts. Oh, how the heavenly neighbor, the assumed one, understood this supreme sorrow of ours and the vast sea of man's withdrawal from our will. Oh, how many times she wept hot tears for our sorrow and for her great misfortune. And so, out of fear, she did not want to grant even a single act of life to her own will. That is why she remained small. Because her will had no life in her. How could she make herself great? But what she did not do, that is, she did not make herself great. Our will did. It made her grow entirely beautiful, holy, divine. It enriched her, so much so that it made her the greatest of all. She was a prodigy of our will, a prodigy of grace, of beauty, and of holiness. Yet she always remained small, so much so that she never left our arms. And she took our defense to her heart and repaid all the acts that were lacking to the supreme will. And not only that, she was entirely ordered according to our will. But she made all the acts of creatures her own, absorbing within herself all the distinct wills. She repaired for them, loved them, and keeping it as a deposit in her virginal heart, prepared the food of our will for all creatures. So you see with what food she nourishes her children. This most beloved mother, this food that today she has given us in abundance, this food of divinity cost her her entire life, a life almost unheard of, even the very life of her son, in order to make in herself the abundant deposit of this food of my will, to keep it ready to nourish all her children. What a tender and loving mother! She could not have loved her children more. By giving this food, her love has reached its highest degree. So among the many titles she holds, the most beautiful title that could be given is Dearest Children of the Divinity, Mother and Queen of the Divine Will. But did you see what a marvel this is? But let us return to ourselves, because we are called to this. This is not just some utopia to be told. This is a reality that in faith, the children of the divinity already live, life already in faith. But they cannot wait for it to be manifested for themselves and for all humanity. Listen to how Our Lady tells us this. This, and we conclude. It is the 31st day from the most beautiful book written by Luisa, the Virgin Mary, in the kingdom of the divine will. It says this: Dearest daughter, Jesus, today your mother is celebrating. Therefore, it's the Madonna herself speaking. Dearest daughter, today your mother is celebrating because I want to tell you about my departure from earth to heaven. The Assumption. The day on which I finished fulfilling the divine will on earth, as I told you, the vessel broke, it could no longer contain, and it was reassembled in heaven. Because there was not in me a single breath, nor a heartbeat, nor a step in which the divine fiat did not have its complete act. And this made me more beautiful, enriched me, sanctified me so much that even the angels were left in awe. Dear ones, look at what I now leave you as a gift. Savor it tonight, this evening, this night. Therefore, dearest daughter, listen to the last word of your mother who is about to depart for heaven. I would not leave content behind if I had not made sure that my daughter was truly safe. Before I go, I want to give you my will. So tonight I will let you know in detail who you truly are already and what possessions you currently have. A will means that you have all these goods. You need to know them and take advantage of them. This is the will. I am letting you know my will, leaving you as a dowry that same divine will that your mother possesses and that has graced me so much, to the point of making me the mother of the Word, Lady and Queen of the heart of Jesus, and Mother and Queen of all the saints. Listen, dear daughter, it is the last day of the month consecrated to me. This is the month of May, in which I am speaking about the Assumption. I have spoken to you with so much love about what the divine will accomplished in me, about the great good it can do, and what it means to let oneself be ruled by it. I have also spoken to you about the grave evils of the human will. But do you think that this blow, this embrace I give you every evening, do you think it is just to tell you a simple story? Do you think the Madonna is a journalist? Does she just tell a simple story? No. Your mother, when she speaks, wants to give. In the fervor of my love and in every word I spoke to you, I bound your soul to the divine fiat. I want to see you leap with joy, children of divinity. This is what happened to us. Every word, this is what the Madonna did. And I was preparing the dowry with which you could live in abundance, happy and endowed with divine strength. Now that I am about to depart, accept my testament. Here it is. Look, this is the life of the divine. To accept this testament, this alone is our part. Accept my testament. Let your soul be the page on which I write with the golden pen of the divine will and with the ink of my burning love that consumes me. the testimony of the dowry that I give you. Blessed daughter, assure me that you will never again do your own will. Place your hand on my maternal heart. Let us do it, dear ones, here with Our Lady. Let us place our hand on her maternal heart. Let us make this act of faith to the very end. Let us carry out this act on this day. Place your hand gently on my maternal heart and swear to me that you will lock your will inside my heart, so that not feeling it, you will have no opportunity to do it, and I will take it with me to heaven as the triumph and victory of my daughter. Dear ones, but shouldn't we make this a reality tonight? We must not leave here without being certain that this has happened. Dear ones, we must not leave here. We must have absolute certainty, truly. But then, is Our Lady deceiving us, making us hear these words? We must be certain of it. Whatever happens, happens. In all circumstances, this instead is the reality. This is the reality. Come on, my daughter dear, listen to your mother's last word, dying of pure love. Receive my last blessing, but how beautiful it is, you see? How do we conclude these days of creation? Receive my ultimate and enduring blessing as the sacred seal of the life of the divine. Will that I leave in you, which will form your own heaven, your radiant sun, your endless sea of love and grace. In these last moments, your Heavenly Mother wants to gently drown you in love, to pour herself out into you, as long as she achieves her aim of hearing your final word. Yes, hope so. That is, that you will strive not to die. You will make any sacrifice rather than give a single act of life to your own will. Tell me, my daughter, tell me. I say it again, and I hope I can say it for each of you. I say it again myself. Let me hear your final word, that you will be content to die. I will be content to die. I will make any sacrifice rather than give a single act of life to my own will. Tell me, my dear daughter, please tell me, if we have done this, do you think we are leaving this wonderful evening misled or deceived? It seems good. If even an earthly mother who is bad wouldn't do it, always here on earth, think of the Heavenly Mother. So let's go with this joy, dear ones. It is a joy that will ensure that no trial can destroy us or change us. This is the certainty. Tell me, my daughter, tell me. Yes, yes, Holy Mother, in the heat of my pain, Luisa answers. Let us answer together with her on this great feast, united up there in the heat of my pain. I tell you this, and I do so with tears in my eyes, that if you ever see me about to do an act of my own will, please, I beg you, let me die. Let me die. Come yourself to gently take my soul in your arms and bring me up there. And I promise with all my heart, I swear never, ever to do my own will. So how can you think that this did not happen for us if we truly did it? Could we claim that then before her? Look, I did it. How is that possible? Did she deceive me? I did it with all my heart, with all my mind, with all my soul, with all my strength. I'll conclude, dear ones, since we've all spoken, we've spent these 2 wonderful days studying together. I can't thank you enough. I've seen these wonderful eyes. You came here with me to hasten this kingdom. It's truly, absolutely marvelous, even extraordinary. Today, in the mystery of her Assumption, Mary is not only the mother who welcomes us, but the queen who goes before us and leads us into the eternal blessed homeland. This isn't the passage. My conclusion is now finished. She is truly the living source of hope, because in her we already see fulfilled what we too are called to experience. And that's exactly what I told you. The children of divinity already live fully in faith. The perfect union of our will with that of God, to the point of becoming the living heaven, the place where the Lord can truly dwell. As pilgrims of hope, let us lift our gaze to her, the great sign in the sky. This is the time of chapter 12 of the Apocalypse. The great sign in the sky is present here among humanity. This is the direct battle between the woman clothed with the sun and the dragon, the serpent. We are in the midst of this battle, right in the heart of it, already won, like the first horse of the apocalypse. We go forth as victors with him, in him and for him to conquer again. And let us allow ourselves to be taken by the hand, determined to entrust to her every beat of our human will. Thus, by following her radiant path, we will ultimately arrive where today we joyfully celebrate. Our mother can't wait to see us in this position with her, in the very heart of the Trinity, in the eternal kingdom of the divine. Will that we already live by faith, but which we want, together with her, to hasten its manifestation over all the earth. And so we conclude with this prayer that Pope Francis left us for the Jubilee, which is a continual request for this, dear ones. I invited you to meditate on it as an antenna. I haven't missed a single evening so far of reading you this prayer because it truly reflects this. This prayer is a very powerful sign. Listen and pay close attention to the words once again. Father, who art in heaven, the faith you have given us in your Son, Jesus Christ, our brother, and the outpouring of charity in our hearts by the Holy Spirit, graciously awaken in us the blessed and enduring hope for the coming of your kingdom. This is the prayer that has remained with us this year. For the coming of your kingdom, may your grace transform us into diligent cultivators of evangelical seeds that leaven humanity and the cosmos as we confidently await the new heavens and the new earth. As the book of Revelation says, new heavens and a new earth. Did you hear that? No, other heavens and another earth, and not just heaven alone. These heavens and this earth, but renewed. New heavens and a new earth. When the powers of evil are defeated, Revelation 19, when the powers of evil are overcome, it will be revealed forever. Your glory, the glory of life on earth in the divine will. May the grace of the Jubilee be lived in us for the hope of striving toward heavenly goods, and may it be poured out upon the world. May the joy and peace of our Redeemer fill the whole world. To you, God, blessed through the ages.
O faithful priest, Fray Pio María, raise your voice, so that all may come to know the truths of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, truthfully.
O faithful priest, Fray Pio María, raise your voice.
O faithful priest, Fray Pio María, raise your voice, so that all may come to know the truths of the supreme Fiat, the supreme Fiat, of the supreme Fiat, the supreme